Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our online exhibitor open day, or shall I say open hour. We'll be going through the marketing for Future Build 2025. We'll speak to PR team and also the operations team are here. So make sure you get all your questions in for all of us. You can use the chat box on the right here. There's a questions tab, so you can use that as well. And also there's some polls there. So yeah, please take some time to fill those out. If you've got any problems with any of the processes or any of the systems that we're using, just let us know in the chat box and one of our team will get back to you after this online open day. So thanks again for joining. If you bear with me, I'm just going to share my screen. So hopefully you can all see my screen here. So I just want to talk a little bit about your stand and how to make your participation successful. We want to know what your USP is, and when we speak to you, we do find out a little bit more about you and your products. So we need to know what your USP is and what you're going to be presenting at the show. The more information we have, it helps us to promote you better as well. So please make sure you're keeping in contact with us and letting us know, especially if you have something fun and exciting happening on your stand. So if you've got any demonstrations going on, if you're launching anything new, if you've got some talks going on, someone famous may be coming to your stand, do let us know and we'll make sure we come over, maybe do some recording for social, also, get a little bit written up, so maybe we can do some PR around it. We can also push through our Future Board app some notifications to get more people to your stand. So the key thing is let us know what you're up to and we will definitely try and help promote that for you. These are some of the things that I just spoke about, but think about standing out from the crowd. Also think about your stand and your graphics. Make sure your USPs, your mission statement are all kind of on your stand graphics, so it's easy for people who are walking by to know exactly what you're about when they see you. Some other fun things that you could do to kind of stand out from the crowd is maybe have a happy hour. In our communications, I've sent some contact details for Excel Hospitality. You can get in touch with them and they can give you some options. You could maybe do some gamification on your stand and you could use your touch points for that, which I'll explain to you later. And something that's quite popular is a Q&A corner. So moving on to the marketing assets that we provide. So we have your EasyGo package. You've got either the EasyGo Leads, the Plus, or the premium package, and each one is slightly different depending on which one you're on. You have a certain amount of ways that you can elevate your brand awareness. But with all of them, you get these things here, which are your marketing tools to help promote your participation. So you'll see here we've got some social posts. There's one at the bottom, which is like an announcement post that we do. And then there's one in the middle with your stand number. So this one is a bit more bespoke and it has your logo in it as well. Over here, we've used Hyderabad. This one, we've been sending you links. So there's a link. Then you've got a couple of options. When you go into the link, there's a couple of options of which image you want to use for your post for social media. You can select your image, add your information. We've already written a little bit of copy there for you, so you can just copy that and paste that straight onto social media. So we've done most of it all for you. It should be fairly simple. If you want to make any changes, if you let us know, we can make the changes for you and then you can use the same link and start posting on your social media. With the when you post this on your social media platforms, you'll see that we've embedded your unique registration link into this post. So if anybody then registers using that link, you will be able to see them on My Easy Fares, and I'll show you where in a bit, but you'll be able to see them on My Easy Fares, and then you can go ahead, and your sales team can go ahead and set up meetings with them to have at the show or pre-show. At the bottom here is your email signature banner, which you can find on My Easy Fares. And then we've got here a bespoke personal PDF invitation. You can see there's a QR code on here, and that QR code again is linked to your personalized registration link. And we can add your logo and any other little bits of information you want. So you just need to let us know. And we can create that for you and send it over to you. With about 6 weeks left to the show, now is the time to start promoting your presence and inviting your clients to the show. And then another thing we have here on the right hand side, you'll see Duracell Energy have a HTML. This is an email that we've created for them in conjunction with them. So we've consulted with them. They've told us what they want on their email, and we've created this for them. Now, we can send this out for Duracell. If Duracell give us a client list, they can upload it on My Easy Fares, and I'll show you how. We can send it out for them to their list, or we can provide the HTML to Duracell, and then Duracell can send it out themselves. So we're aiming at the moment to maybe send out 2 to 3 of these a week, and we have a schedule in place. So if you want us to create these HTMLs for you and send them out to your client list, then we're more than happy to, but please let us know so that we can schedule you in. All of these assets and more are options given on the Marketing Tools survey. Look out for this survey link. We do send it every time we send communications over to you, but we will resend it after this open hour. Another feature we have, a promotional feature, which is not listed here, it's not part of your EasyGo, it's in addition to that, is our Industry Insider newsletter feature. So we have an Industry Insider newsletter that goes out every week to around 50,000 subscribers. And we always do an exhibitor feature in there. So now that we're running like close to the show, you may see about 3 to 4 of these features in the newsletter. If you want to be included, again, just let one of the team know, mainly Sneha. So if you drop her an email and let her know, she needs probably about 100 words and an image, and then we can put that in our newsletter, which goes out every Friday. And we also include a link to your profile, and we include your personalized registration link as well. So I wanted to share with you My Easy Fares. I wanted to go through My Easy Fares with you and give you a bit of a quick tour. But the one thing I do want to touch on today and have a look at in more detail is Stand Personnel and Visit Connect. So bear with me whilst I share my screen. So here is, and hopefully you can all see this, but here is Future Build's My Easy Fares account. And you can see here that we have our logo and we have some information. If you want to edit this information, you can do by just clicking on this edit button here. We've also uploaded our products. You can upload as many products and documents as you want, brochures even maybe. So you add all your products in here. And then further down, you can add your press releases. And if you have any job adverts or vacancies, you can add them there too. Now you'll see here that there's a big green box that says Innovation Gallery. So the Innovation Gallery is a page on the website, which I will show you in a little while. But it's a page on the website where we showcase all innovations. To submit your innovation into the gallery, you just need to ensure that your product is included here in the products and services, and then you can go into the Innovation Gallery box, click Manage Items, and select which product you want to add into the innovations gallery. You'll see, sorry, on the box that there is either one or two of these product options. So either you can add one product into the gallery or two, and this depends on your what EasyGo package you're on. So if you're on a EasyGo Leads package, you can upload one. If you're on an EasyGo Plus or Premium package, you can upload 2 innovations into the gallery. The benefits of the Innovations Gallery. So not only is it a web page on its own on the website, and we are always directing people to the Innovations Gallery, but also we are bringing back the Big Innovation Pitch. So many of you may know that we have a pitch that takes place on the second day of the event on the main arena stage, and normally six products are chosen to pitch against each other in front of a live audience and also a judging panel. This year, we're going to be selecting 4 innovations from the gallery to be included in the Big Innovation Pitch. The deadline for this is tomorrow, in fact, 24th of January. So please, if you haven't done so already, add your innovations into the Innovations Gallery. And then next week, Dr. Oliver Jones will be reviewing all the innovations in the gallery and selecting a short list of 4. If you have any questions about this, again, just let us know, and we'll be more than happy to answer them for you. I'm going to move on to inviting your clients to the event and promoting your participation. Before I get into this, you may have seen in the latest communications that's sent by Sneha that we are introducing an exhibitor leaderboard. Some of you may be familiar with this from previous years as well. So our leaderboard is quite a fun little competition that we'll be doing from now up into the show. So the leaderboard shows the top maybe 10 exhibitors who have invited clients, so have the most number of clients registered for the event. And then on the day, we'll be looking to see how many of you have invited people that have actually attended. So we'll be looking at how many visitors attended from each exhibitor, and you'll get a nice prize for you and the team at the show. So look out for the leaderboard, and I wish you the very best of luck with it. But ways to get onto the leaderboard then. So you should use this registration link. This is your personalized registration link. So if you use this registration link, we know that this registration has come from you. So in this case, it will come from the exhibitor Future Build. And down here, more importantly, you can see who's registering using your link, and your team can get in touch with them and set up meetings. You can see here also there's an option to create SMS alerts. So each team member can create 3 alerts per person, so that when somebody's come through the door, a visitor's come through the door, maybe you've set up a meeting with them, when they arrive, you'll get a ping, an SMS message, and they'll know that, this person who I've been waiting for has now arrived. Another way to get on the leaderboard, obviously, is to use the tools that I mentioned earlier that I showed you examples of. So the PDF invitation, the social media, creative. So if you use all of these, again, it has your invitation link bedded, and then we can see who's been invited. To use the HTML, so if you want to make use of that, you need to give us your data list that you want to invite, and to do that, this free invitation service is where you need to go, and you just click in here. Hopefully you can still see my screen. You complete this little bit of information here, and then you upload your data. Just want to add, in addition to this, we also offer every exhibitor 50 VIP invitations. Again, if you want to use this service, you just need to let us know. We will need to eyeball your VIP invitation list, and then we'll send you a VIP invitation link, which you can then use to invite these clients, or we can do another HTML, a VIP one, and send that out for you. So don't forget to do that soon, because as I said before, we're filling up fast. So all our slots are going quite quickly now. And then manage stands. So here is where you should add your stand personnel. So you can add your stand personnel here. And then George from Ops is going to speak a little bit more about the web shop and web orders later. But I just want to touch on stand personnel. So you can click into here and then you go into visit, which is here, and team, and then you can start adding your stand personnel. It's really, really important that if you have stand personnel, you add them as stand personnel and not as a normal visitor. By adding them as stand personnel, they get access to the event before general public. So we open at 10, they'll get access at 8 o'clock, and they'll also get access for build day as well. So important that you register them as stand personnel. They will need access to Visit Connect also, and they'll only get that once they've been registered as stand personnel. And the Future Build app that we have this year will recognize them as stand personnel and uses AI to match them to visitors. So again, really, really important that you register them as stand personnel. I know some of you also have speakers. So it's up to you if this speaker wants to be registered as a stand personnel or registered as a speaker. As a speaker, they get entry into the VIP and speaker lounge as well. And obviously their badge says speaker on it. If you think that they're going to benefit from being a stand personnel because they need access to Visit Connect, because they're going to be working on the stand, then I'm happy to have a conversation and we can decide which is the best option. Just to note, speakers can also get into the event early, so they can also get in at 8 and they can also get in on build day as well. Another thing that we've talked about is Visit Connect, which is one of your lead capture tools. And on Visit Connect, I've mentioned a few times that you can set up questions beforehand so that your sales team are all asking the same thing, or it just makes it easier to review after the event the person that you were speaking to and what they were interested in, and it may help you tailor your follow-on communications. So here's an example question that I've put in, but it's very easy. You just go to add here, you add your question, if you want it to be multiple choice or free text or single choice, and you enable it, and then you just click save and your question will appear here. You can amend this at any time, but I do recommend that you have a look at this, especially if you've got lots of products. It may be something you want to add, so it makes it easier for your sales team when they scan a visitor's badge to complete this information and then review it after the show. I'm just gonna go back. And that brings me on to lead capture tools. So you've got 2 lead capture tools on your stand. You've got 2 lead capture tools on your stand. One is your readers or touch points, we call them. And one of them, is it frozen? Oh. I hope you can still hear me. Let me share my screen again. So where were we? So we're talking about lead capture tools. So you've got 2 lead capture tools. One is a reader or touch point, and one is your Visit Connect app. So the reader or touch point has you'll either have 1, 2, or 3, depending on what package you're on. So we've got 2 because we're on an EasyGo Plus package. If you are on an EasyGo Leads package, you'll have 1 reader. And if you're on a premium package, you'll have 3 readers because one of them will be your Innovation Trail reader. So these readers are really a visitor kind of initiative. So visitors are taught when they come through the door how to use their smart badge, and to tap the smart badge as they're walking around the show, to get information about, people that they've seen or products that they like. At the end of the day, when they finish, they'll get an email and it will have all the information, like all the places where they touch their badge. But for you as an exhibitor, after the 3 days are over, we'll collect back all the readers, and then you can access your leads in this area that says track performance. So you'll be able to access them there. 2 weeks before the event, we will remind you that you can connect your readers to specific products. So if you've got 2 readers like we have, I may want to keep one as my generic profile. So it's a default one. It will just go to my profile, and I might want to change one. So I might try and do this now. So I might change one of the readers to something else. So I might modify one, and I might say I want to, and it will choose the products that you've uploaded. So you can either choose a company profile or one of your products. So I might move one to National Retrofit Conference and Expo. So now I should have, there we go. So I've now linked my readers. I've got one reader going to my general profile, and then I've got one reader going to a specific area of the show, which is my product. And then you've got Visit Connect, which we spoke about earlier. So once your stand personnel have registered, or you've registered them, they'll get a confirmation email, and then they'll get an email from Visit Connect, and they just need to click in and get started, and they can access their Visit Connect app through there. The licenses are unlimited, so if you have different stand personnel every day, they can all get access to the app as long as they're registered as stand personnel. This is where you've got all your performance, and you can also collect your leads from here after the show. This view documents area, so you can see in here that you should have your email signature banner in here, your PDF invitation. There's a generic press release in here actually, so if you wanted to use this press release and amend it, you can do. And there's also just the FutureBuild logo, so if you wanted to use that for anything, it's there for you to take advantage of. I will look at the questions maybe at the end. So moving on, yep. This is just an example of what the lead capture tools look like in case you haven't seen them before. Registering your stand personnel. And showcasing your innovation. So we have the big innovation pitch that I mentioned. Don't forget to add your innovation to the gallery. And the Sustainable Stand Award. Some of you may remember this from last year, but we have a Sustainable Stand Award. Winners last year were UKGBC. We'll be reviewing entries in terms of space only or shell scheme stands, so there'll be an award for both. We'll send some more information about this on the follow-up email, but basically, FutureBuild practices walk the talk. You can see that, we've taken away our carpets, we've removed them to cut waste. Our signage is recycled, and we're moving towards more digital signage. We don't have, show guides anymore. We also don't have the planners, so anything kind of paper-based, we've removed it from our events to go to zero landfill. And we also have ethical catering at the event. And so we want you guys to join us in this. We know a lot of you have really good stands with sustainable materials. So let us know. To submit your entry, you just need to email us and let us know what you're doing. And then, on the day we'll come over and have a look at your stand. And we'll announce the winner of our Sustainable Stand Award. I think I have gone through everything that I needed to speak about today, and hopefully I've given you all a lot of information which is useful. I am going to bring on stage, well, actually, I don't know. Should I answer some questions? Are there any questions? Let's have a look. How do we upload our standard assembly to get their passes for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday? Yeah, George will answer your question when he comes on in a bit. The big retrofit challenge, we still don't know which companies have been shortlisted. No, not yet, but they should be announced very soon. Questions when to upload. Can we load all our items into a van for transport? George will answer that. Do I need to add the stand builders? Ops questions, can we load all our items into a van? Yeah. What's included with a VIP ticket, and how do we get the personalised link? So the VIP ticket includes access to the VIP lounge where all the speakers and other VIPs will be. It also includes refreshments and priority seating in the arena. To get your link, you just need to speak to one of us, so either me, Sneha, or Jess, and we'll send the link over to you. No, so when you upload your data onto My Easy Fares, there is a GDPR statement there, so you'll see that, and it's all GDPR protected, which is why you don't give it to us. You upload it on here. We only use it to invite your clients to the show, and it gets deleted after that. And the adding data client is for HTML. Yeah. Order catering for the stand, please could you advise? Catering for the stand, I think George will go through it anyway, but we did provide some contacts for that, and we can do that again after the open day today. Yeah, okay. Great. I think most of these are ops questions, so yeah, when George comes on in a bit, he will answer all of these for you. If there's any questions or comments I've missed, I will come back to you. Right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to invite David Ing from our PR agency Fabric on stage. Hi, David. The floor is yours.
Afternoon. Sorry, apologies, afternoon. That's a good start. So good afternoon, everyone. Just as a very quick introduction, my name is David Ing. I'm MD at an agency called Fabric. So we're a specialist agency that works in the built environment, and we provide PR and comms and media support for Future Build. So I'm just going to cover sort of broadly 4 points, really covering pre-event, during event, post-event, and more about press and media. So just echoing Hetzel's comments about social media and the build-up, we would obviously encourage all of you to embrace social media over the next sort of 6-8 weeks on the build-up to the show. But what I'd actually recommend is, as well as looking at your company profiles, what we suggest as an agency, we tend to put toolkits together for a number of our clients, where we tend to find if we ask the sales teams to post on LinkedIn, they'll all nod and say yes, but everyone gets very busy. So sometimes it's an idea to create a toolkit whereby we will create some posts, create some graphics, and ask key people to then go and post on their social channels at their leisure. So I'd encourage to see if you can broaden social reach on the build up to the event, and obviously remember to link in Future Build. But also recommend reaching out to your key press. So if there are key journalists that you deal with and work with, reach out to them to find out if they are attending, and if they are, I would encourage you to arrange meetings with them. If they're not, encourage you to invite them. As I said, we are managing all the press for the show, so we do have a big press list of those we've invited. But if there are any specific journalists that you would like us to invite, then we're more than happy for you to contact us, and we can send out sort of personalised invitations. We'd also recommend trying to arrange press meetings. It's a great opportunity during the show to showcase your products in person to journalists. So we'd always encourage you all to sort of embrace that opportunity and see if you can arrange meet and greets. We tend to find that the press aren't going to interview on the stand. It is more of a meet and greet to find out what new products you're launching, and look at products and systems and services, so that they are sort of informed for the future. So we'd encourage all of you to sort of start looking at how you can engage with press on the build up. As part of the pre-event, I'd also encourage everyone to actually look at the conference stages. I think everyone maybe has sort of this like guilty get very busy at the show and miss some of the great content happening on some of the stages. So we'd always try and encourage you to actually look down the conference program and try and highlight some sessions that maybe align to your company, your messaging, etc., and then sort of allocate a member of the team to go and attend those. So in terms of at show, just building on the conference stages, again, we tend to sort of work on almost like an Excel attendance document of who's on the stand at what time, what sessions, who's attending those. We encourage you to share on social if you are attending sessions that link back to what you're doing. Also, make sure you've got a plan in terms of social media for at the show. So again, we do tend to try and plan social posts. I think everyone's slightly guilty of intending to do social posts and forgetting all about it, and it's a bit too late afterwards. So if you can create a document of pre-planned posts, then it's just a bit of a cut and paste on the stand. Also, if you've got things like GoPros, etc., obviously modern phones are great. You can do time lapse of the shows, you can do walk rounds of the show. So we'd encourage, and again, don't just think about it as your company page. Actually, the personal pages work really well because people do link with people on LinkedIn. So we find a lot of our clients have a sort of better connection through some of the people pages rather than personals. Consider filming at the shows, and I said, obviously remember sort of use the scanners to sort of to scan leads. We will be managing all the press at the show, so I'll come on to that sort of a little bit at the end. So obviously come and find us and we can support you with press meetings. In terms of post-event, I think this is really important. So obviously Hettel's covered the various options that you've got in terms of scanning leads. So we would always look to put a process in place. So typically, if the data is available to download same day, we would typically say, get a Solus email ready so that end of play Tuesday, you can send an HTML email to everyone on Tuesday, same on Wednesday, same on Thursday. I think Hettel, I might need you just to clarify. I think the data might be available sort of the week after, but I think it's about having those emails ready, built and ready to go, so that actually when you get back, I think everyone gets busy with 1,000 emails to catch up on. But I think if you've got something planned and in the diary in terms of the Solus emails built so they can be followed up straight away, that's always advantageous. I'd also encourage all of you to actually put a date in the diary for the following week, which is a data review. So actually, it's a great opportunity to look at all the leads you've generated and make sure they're being allocated to the appropriate people and they are being followed up. And then we actually put a date in the diary for a month after the show to then actually have a second meeting about data. As I said, data is really important. You spend a lot of time and effort generating leads, and I think we just need to make sure that they are being actioned appropriately. So, are they being followed up? And then actually a month later, where have we got with those leads? And then the last point is obviously press and media. So there are a large number of key trade publications that we work with on behalf of FutureBird in terms of press partners. So they will be attending the show. We'll also have other journalists that will be attending. So we tend to find that we can provide a list of journalists that are attending. There are, I guess, two slight issues with that. Due to GDPR, we can't provide names and email addresses. We can just tell you the publications. And also, slightly annoyingly, a lot of them tend to register sort of the week before. So, but we can provide those. But what I'd also encourage is as many of you to reach out to us as you can. If there are key journalists or publications you would like to meet, if we can help facilitate any of those meetings during show, then we will do everything we can within our powers to engage with that press for you and get them to come onto your stand. Hettel did also talk about the Innovation Gallery, so we will look to signpost all the key journalists to the Innovation Gallery. But if there are specific products that you're launching at the show, by all means reach out to myself or one of my team and just put it onto our radar so that when we are talking to press, we can start trying to signpost press to come to look at your stands. The press, some of them will only be there for 1 day, some might be there for 2. There's a lot of show to take in, and actually the more we can help the press by signposting them to key stands and key product launches, the more we can do, the better, and the better it is for everybody. So I think they're really my sort of key takeaways in terms of activities for pre-event, during event, post-event, in terms of sort of data follow-up, and then press and media. And I said, we would encourage all of you to, reach out to the key press that you work with on a daily basis, but also let us know. We'll do everything we can to get as many press there as possible, but also once they're there, we'll work with yourselves. So I'm sure post-event today, obviously you can either find me on LinkedIn, or I'm sure Hetzel will share my details. If anyone has got any questions regarding pre, during and post-event comm support, and then also press and media, I'm more than happy to answer any questions and queries that people may have. And obviously, we will do everything we can to support your attendance at Future Build 2025. I'm not sure if there's any questions there that need answering, or Hetzel, whether you're okay to pick up. Yeah.
Hi, hello. So my name is George. I am in charge of all the operational side of things. I'll speak with all the exhibitors. You would have heard from me, or you would have seen emails from me, either from the Future Build inbox or from my own personal one. And so I'm just going to start off by sharing a presentation. This is the one that we actually used on the open day that we had. So if I just can't find it quickly, just bear with me 1 second. Nope, not that one. Here we are. So let me know if you can see that in the chat, please, just to make sure I am not speaking just to myself. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the operation side of things. The first thing to start off is with the venue itself. So this is where the event will be taking place. This is the Excel. I've also left the delivery address on there for you. This is something, because I saw some questions about bringing in materials into a stand. If you use this delivery address, your couriers will be able to get into the loading area and then deliver it to your stand, as long as you supply them with a stand name and number. However, please be advised that the company cannot sign for any deliveries. This will have to be someone from your own company be ready at the stand so then they can collect it. Something worth noting as well is, since we are on S3 to S9, the best access will be through the west entrance from the Excel. That would be the area with all the hotels and next to the tube station, so that makes it a bit easier for everyone. And then also the access from the car park is just outside one of the entrances, so you will be able to find that, no problem. In terms of timetable, this is sort of the first big differentiation between stand types. Some of you will be space only, some of you are shell scheme. I hope everyone does know what type of stand they are, but if there are any questions, please feel free to let me know now, or you can send me an email afterwards and I'll be able to help you, no problem. Obviously, the main difference between space only and shell is that the space only stands don't have anything built for them. Instead, they just have some marking on the floor, so they will need some extra time for them to build, obviously. We will be building the shell scheme, then that means that all shell scheme stand exhibitors will have access from Monday onwards, just to make sure that the stand is looking how they want to. There's go a whole day for them to sort of dress it up, make sure it's show ready, and then this way you can let us know if there's anything that needs changing and we'll be able to action it on Monday. Just as I was seeing a few comments on the chat, this presentation can be shared. I have got a copy, but most of this information is available on the exhibitor manual, which, once again, if you don't have a link to this, please let me know. For the show open days, something worth noting as well is that all exhibitors will have access from 8 a.m. Even though the show starts at 10, giving you a couple hours to maybe restock any collaterals that you might have on your stand, and also just to make sure everything is ready and in place. Finally, the last sort of timings is really important for everyone to be aware of, especially stand builders. If you're a space-only stand, breakdown, obviously shell schemes just need to sort of clear everything they've brought with them and will bring down the stand itself. However, space only need to take everything there is with them, and by 12 a.m. on Friday, everything must be removed from the hose. This is not something that this is not a deadline that we give just out of pure pleasure. This is linked with tenancy issues, so it's a very strict deadline. everything needs to be out of the host by 12. So if your stand builders aren't aware of these times, please make sure you share them with them. So as I said, there's a few different stand packages. I'm just going to start with the shell scheme, as this is the most prominent one. And I wanted to make this as easy as possible for everyone. So I wanted to break it down into what needs to be done and sort of give you a bit of a checklist, okay? So shell scheme, we build everything for you. So we'll have the shell scheme walls, carpet, and there's also an electrical package included, which means there is 2 spotlights and 1 500-watt twin socket. But for those stands which are above 24 square meters, you'll get 2 of these packages, meaning there's 4 spotlights and 2 times the 500-watt sockets. The only documentation we need from shell scheme stand really is the online forms, which once again can be found on the exhibitor manual. I will be sharing these with everyone, so everyone should have access to them. The risk assessment and health and safety form are the compulsory ones. This has to be submitted by everyone, not just shell scheme stands, but also space onlys. I'll get to the reason as to why in the next slide when I speak about space only stands. But shell schemes will also need to submit grid plans indicating where they want the 500-watt sockets and the spotlights included in their package. This is something that we offer to all exhibitors just to make sure that we can accommodate where your stand layout is going to be. So if you're going to have some sort of showcase presentation, laptop computers, you can just let us know where you want the socket, and then that'll be ready for you there. And without it, our suppliers will simply have to place it wherever they see more convenient for them. And then if you want to change it on site, that could lead some delays. So we recommend that everyone does submit that grid plan just to make everything smooth in the whole process. There is a third form on the exhibitor manual, which is the shell amendment form. This is not compulsory. This is only required for shell scheme stands who want certain elements of the stand removed. Let's say you have, you're bringing with you some sort of showcase that is pretty high and you think the ceiling grid and fascia is going to be in the way. You can request for that to be removed through that form. Next, we have the space only stands. So these are a bit more tricky because you will be building the stand from scratch. There is nothing included in your stand. When you get into the hole, you just have markings on the floor. So no carpet like with a shell scheme or anything like that. There are some regulations and forms that need to be followed. These are some of the highlights. However, please make sure you do go onto the exhibitor's manual to go through them. And in case, for whatever reason, if your contractors have fallen through, they can't deliver in the end, we do have Skyline Watchspace, who are our appointed stand builders for the show. So they'll be able to help you and be on site to help you build a stand for that. In terms of forms and documentations, this is the first time we have changed the way in which we submit space-only documents. Usually you would have sent your documents via email to OpSquad. However, this time we've changed things around. OpSquad have requested that we share with you links to their online platform, and all space only should have received an email, or we will send the email to the contact that we have on Salesforce. But if you are no longer, if that person is no longer in charge of the stand, or you are the person in charge of the stand and don't believe you've been sent it, please make yourself known, because then we need to make sure you get that link as soon as possible, just to make sure that there is enough time for the space plans to be reviewed and approved before the event. The whole process shouldn't take too long. However, it is required because we need to double check all those documents and OpSquad need to sign them off. There is a whole list on the exhibitor manual of everything that needs to be supplied. But in terms of other forms, so the online forms I mentioned before for shell schemes, these also need to be submitted by space-only stands. And there's always a bit of confusion because you're already submitting one to OpSquad and then you're also submitting another online form, which we're asking for. And the main difference is the documents that are being sent to OpSquad for space-only approval, those are only relevant for your stand builders during the build and break of the show, whilst the online forms that we have on the exhibitor manual covers you for the duration of the event. So there's that slight distinction between the build and the break because there are different phases of the show and the actual show dates. That's why we will need both the online forms as well as the ones that are being sent to OpSquad. We also have some other smaller stands dotted around the area. So this is an example of our startup stands, but there are a few pavilions and all those people have been contacted directly. So you're more than welcome to see what the stands would look like on site. However, everything is pretty similar in terms of forms and what we need from them. The only difference is that in this case, there is some graphics included and those dimensions would have been sent to those exhibitors for them to send us the artwork. So now let's go on to some of the additional requirements. As you may have noticed, there's On the exhibitor manual, there was a few deadlines which have been changed. So now we have moved our deadlines forward or backwards, depends how you look at it. So we used to have the 17th of January as a deadline for all the forms and early bird rates, but this has been moved to this week. I would like to encourage everyone who hasn't placed an order on Salesforce for the stand to do so as soon as possible, because by the end of tomorrow, we will be moving into our regular rates, which means there's 20% increase on all prices on the web shop. For all those stands who have signed on a bit later, there's also the deadline of the forms. That would be the same day. However, if they are submitted at some point next week, that should be fine as well. If you have ordered graphics, the deadline for you to submit all your artwork is the 12th of February. And if you haven't, but you're possibly interested in them, the deadline to order is the 5th of February. These deadlines are done in such a way that it gives us enough time to review and approve the artwork, and also that will give us a proof for us to share with you, and then we won't print anything without your go-ahead. There's also another deadline which is not mentioned on there, and this is due to it being a sort of different type of stand, which are the show-ready stands. So we and GES, who are the people who build a shell scheme stand, have sort of worked on a proposal to help exhibitors who want to stand out a bit more than the usual shell scheme stand, but don't really want to go the full price of a space only. So happy in between point are these show-ready stands. The deadline for ordering these would be the end of next week. So if you have any questions or want some more information on that, I'll be more than happy to help. But essentially what it is instead of having a shell scheme build, is a B matrix build, and we use fabric to wrap around it. So it's a fully graphic stand, and you will be able to supply the artwork for that. Not only is it just the build different, but you get some carpet included with a color of your choice, you get electrics, and you also get an appointed stand manager from GES who will be guiding you throughout the whole process and make the whole submission a lot easier for you. So once again, if you are interested, I'll leave my email address in the chat at some point, and then you can just give me a message and I'll be more than happy to help you. Here are some of the useful contacts, as I believe there was some people asking about where can they order catering or what they need to do to arrange that on site. Catering does have to go through the venue. However, they have provided us with this email address for you to email and contact directly. So they will be able to help you provide that. Not only are the venue sort of the main contacts that you should be aware of, but also GF Logistics. They are our freight forwarding company and partners for the event. So they'll be able to help with anything from deliveries to the event, storage on site, and should you need it, we also have forklifts that they can help you with to move things back and forth between the loading bay and your stand. The venue also offers rigging on Wi-Fi, so if you will be needing that, I would speak with them directly. There is a free Wi-Fi at the Excel, and it's just that that's where everyone's going to be connected. It's an unsecure network, so if you do need something a bit more personalized or secure, you might want to contact them just to inquire about prices for them. Now, as Hetal mentioned, My Easy Fares is essential, not just for marketing, but also for ops, as this is where you'll be able to access the webshop, which once again, tomorrow is the last day of the early bird rates. So if you don't want to spend 20% more, I would recommend doing these steps now and not waiting until tomorrow. But basically what you want to do is once you've logged in and fully set up your stand on My Easy Fares, you'll be seeing this sort of landing page. And on the top bar, you'll be able to see something called Manage Stand. So you just click on that. You should see something like the below, a list of all the items included in your participation, and also the green button now will lead you to the web shop. If you just click on that, you'll be able to see all the items that are on offer, just like you would be in a normal web shop. However, the main difference is that when you go into the checkout or when you see your basket, it won't ask for an immediate payment. Instead, what will happen is it'll come through to me. I have a see on the back end, make sure everything makes sense. So make sure that all the quantities are right, and make sure that no one's ordering 2.5 chairs, for example. And then once I've reviewed all of that, I will be able to accept it. And then the finance team will be sending you an invoice like they did for the original stand payment. Here are some of the useful links, which once again, when we finish the presentation, this PowerPoint will be shared, so you can have some of the links as well. But the exhibitor manual homepage, My Easy Fares, floor plan live is when you can see basically your floor plan for the event. And I've also broken down the different descriptions for both the shell scheme stands and also space onlys. And there's also a very helpful timetable for you to sort of keep track of everything. Now, voyage control, that leads to some of the other questions that were being asked before. How do I bring my stand builders in? How do I sign them up? For the build update, there isn't any need for you to register your stand builders as stand personnel. Instead, once they come on site, they will be prompted to read the CDM forms, which are the regulations for the build-up and breakdown of the event. And once they've done so, they'll be given a bracelet, which basically means they have read and acknowledged the rules of the build area, and that will act as a contractor pass for them to come in and out as they need. If you need to bring something on site through vans, vehicles, or stand builders, the process that will be followed is you click on the voyage control link, which is not live just yet. It will be live 3 weeks before the show, and I'll be sending up a mail to everyone letting them know it is live. But you will be able to go on there. You'll have to register through voyage control. You'll then choose your stand type, because you'll have different allocated times depending on your stand type, if you're space or shell. And then once you've done that, you'll see all the available times and vehicle options for you to book a slot. And from there, it will just be as easy as coming up on site maybe a bit before your allocated slot, and then the traffic office will guide you through whenever it's your allocated time. So now I'm just going to go through some of the questions. So Victoria, depending on your stand type, if you're a shell scheme or a space, shell schemes have carpet and electricity included on the web shop. But if you're a space only and will be needing these, yes, you can order them through the web shop. They will be labeled under floor coverings for the carpet, and then electrical points can be found underneath the electrical supply. And then if you see something that, if you see an electrical requirement which you don't have, let's say that you need a three-phase 16 amp supply, but it's not on the web shop, what you can do is you can send me an email, and then I get in contact with our suppliers who will give me a quote for you for me to share with you. Then I'm just going to have a quick check on the questions. Let's see what we have. That one's for David. So space only. Yes. So ideally, for all the deliveries being made to the hall, you then have to register for voyage control. However, the Excel deals with plenty of deliveries every day for every show, so they know how to deal with anyone who sort of turns up without the registration. They'll just send them through directly onto the halls. However, once again, they will need someone who signed for the delivery. So they will be able to access during build up and break. That's no problem. However, please keep in mind that during show days, no trolleys are allowed on the floor. So that's something just to keep in mind. Everything that you want to restock during show days, you have to ball hand them into your stand. Yes, Michaela, I'll change your contact. I did try and speak to some of your colleagues, and they couldn't find the person I was looking for. Caroline, if you send me an email, I'll follow up with you about those forms. It's easy for me to check, just not whilst we're in the presentation at the moment. Are we able to purchase a second lead scanner? Yes. So once again, it used to be done through a web shop. However, this time we've changed it a bit. How you can order this second lead scanner is you can send an email to either the marketing team or myself, and then I can add it onto your account and make sure that you have that second lead scanner on site. Just going to go back to the chat because I'm seeing a few messages. So the power during build for the stand, that's a very good question. We do have some shows that differentiate between build and show days for power, but not future build. Future build, if you order electricity, that will be active from day one. So if you need electricity for you to build your stand, just make sure you've ordered it ahead of time, and then when you come on site, it will be there. Register, I'll allow one of my marketing colleagues to help you with that. Need power for laptops. So the 500-watt twin socket is basically thought as a quality of life sort of something that is going to be on your stand. With that, you should be able to plug in both laptops, phones, as these won't have a lot of consumption. You're more than welcome to have an extension lead onto which you can plug more than one thing. However, no daisy chaining, which essentially means having an extension lead onto another extension lead, that I can guarantee is going to cause a fault in the fuse. And it's not only going to be your power that's going to go off, it's going to be all the stands around you, and everyone will know it was you because there's a very strong smell coming from that. Do we have carpet if we have an open stand? So by open stand, I'm not really sure what you mean. Every stand will have open sides, as what we consider open sides is basically where there's not a wall. Shell schemes will have carpet, as I mentioned, but not space only. And I'm just going to see as there was another mention. So yeah, with the delivery slot, Caroline, 3 weeks before the event, I'll be sending out an email letting everyone know that the voyage control system is up and ready. Then what they can do is simply go on there, find the event, future build, and then sign in with a, they'll have to create an account if they haven't got one already. They don't usually deliver to the Excel. And with that account, they'll be able to go into the future build event, find a slot, and just book it straight away. It should be a pretty straightforward process. However, if they do have any problems, please feel free to send them my way and I'll be more than happy to help them. So I can't see any more questions at the moment coming through. However, I'm just gonna pop in the chat my email address for all of you guys to see and drop me any emails with questions you may have after this. And Amanda. So as Hedo mentioned, one of our initiatives is that we're not going to have any carpets in the gangways. It is company policy at the moment that we would like all stands to have carpet, especially those space-only stands, and there should be a floor covering. And Ops Squad, who are the health and safety partners reviewing the plans, will not accept any plans that do not have floor coverings. However, please just, if this is going to be an issue for you, just send me an email and then we can work from there. I think that's something that we try and do as a team. We want to accommodate everyone and make sure that if something can be done, we will do everything possible to try and accommodate it. And I think that's it from me because I can't see any more questions. However, once again, that's my email. Any questions, please feel free to send them through to me, all right? And I think I'm just going to give it back to my colleague Heto, see if she's got any last remarks.
Thank you, George. Hello? I hope you can hear me. Yeah, okay. I think earlier when I was presenting, my screen froze, and so I've got a few people asking about the Visit Connect app and how to add questions. So I just thought I will demonstrate that again. So if you bear with me, I'll share my screen. Hope you can see my screen. So when you're on My Easy Fares, you go to Manage Stand and Manage Stand Personnel, and then you come here into Visit Connect, and you can add your team members here. So add staff. Oh, share this tab instead. Yep. So you need to add you can add your team members here. And then down here on the left, you'll see it says questions. So if you go into questions, hopefully you can still see my screen. Great. So if you go into questions here, you can add questions for the Visit Connect app. So when your sales team have access to the app, they will see these questions. So they will scan the visitor that they're speaking to. They can add, their name, contact details, and everything else. And then you might have some additional questions like these. So I've added a question in here: which products are you interested in? And if I was a salesperson, this would come up on my app, and then I could just easily click on which one the person I'm speaking to is interested in. To add a question, you just go to Add here. And you can add your question in here. You can decide if you want it to be multiple choice, free text, or single. And put all your answers here if it's multiple choice. And then just do add answer, and it will appear like my example question here. Hopefully that was clear enough. Just let's see if there's any more questions. They'll show up for all the questions. If you add questions to that section, they'll show up for everybody. And just I noticed about, I can't remember if it was Caroline asking about purchasing a scanner. I just want to make it clear, your Visit Connect app, which scans the visitor's badge, is unlimited. So you can have as many licenses. You don't need to purchase any extra. However, if you want a touch point, a reader on your stand, in addition to the 1 or the 2 that you have as part of your package, this you can buy from the web shop. Hope that makes sense to everyone. We're all available. So, if you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to contact us by email or phone. After this, today or tomorrow, we'll be sending a follow-up email with links, copies of the presentation as well, contact details for us all, and a recording of this video, which you should actually get straight away. Please look out for our emails. George's email, so ops emails come from Future Build, so remember to look out for those. Marketing send their emails from Sneha, marketing interns, so make sure you look out for these, because it will have all the handy information that you now need to get ready for Future Build 2025 on the 4th and the 6th of March. One final thing, I do hear lots of people talking about they've been contacted by somebody selling the visitor list for Future Build and various things in that kind of form. These are all fake vendors. Please don't engage with them. You know who your contacts are. It's your salesperson. It's me, or Jess or Sneha, and it's George from Ops. So if it's not one of us 3, don't contact them. Also, in the email, you can see the email signature. If it's not our branded email signature, again, that's how to recognize it's not one of us. And if you're really in doubt, give us a call. Give one of us a call, and or send us the email that you've received, and we can clarify. But thanks again for joining, and hope you have a lovely afternoon.